Has anybody ever told you you talk too much, you're quick at the lip, you run your mouth a little too frequently? I want to talk about this because maybe the main reason that you don't have the support, you're maybe not achieving or hitting your goals, or maybe counting yourself out before you even attempt anything, is because you ran your mouth. Today we're going to learn the art of being still, being quiet, and keeping our damn mouth closed. Let's get into this. Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is the Feminal Society. On Sundays we have the Feminal Society. Not every Sunday, but quite a few. And on the Feminal Society we are a leveling up, glow up, high maintenance energy series, basically just encouraging you to be the very best version of yourself. And this is basically a how-to guide, steps in the direction to help you improve your self-confidence, your self-love, self-motivation, and basically encourage you to love yourself, invest in yourself, invest in your dreams, and how to kind of tone out the negativity around you, and maybe learn how to identify some triggers and some self-help tips to maybe separate yourself from a lot of negative energy and vibration. So if you're looking to level up your own life on your journey to becoming that girl and basically being a high value, high maintenance person, but not in the negative connotation way, I got you. This is the Feminal Society. You will love it here. Please subscribe if you are new, and if you have been riding with me since the beginning, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for sticking by and being here. All right, so you seen the intro, right? And I know it may have came off a little harsh, but I really want to get into this because this very topic has been one of my biggest downfalls in life in general. And that is running your mouth. Especially for me, I come from a long line of talkers, and sometimes I gotta know when to just zip the trap and just keep it going and keep it to myself and put my head down and just grind harder. It was a very hard idea for somebody like myself to understand that not everybody would be as excited for me or on my side or even cheer me on. Not everybody is going to be your cheerleader. And I've had so many different ideas, problems, solutions throughout life that I've shared with people, and to have them shut down or to have them contradict me or talk me out of it, to where there has been so many lost opportunities and ideas that could have been made into something, but I let the influence of others just basically just turn me off of it. Do you have that problem? Now, I want to say not everybody is going to be your cheerleader, and a lot of people cannot see a positive mindset or a positive move because they are in such a dark, negative space. That is their own burden to bear. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is more recently, you guys know I've been making a lot of different changes in my life. And even though I have a majority of people are on my team, on my side, there are some that are just tearing me down and being like, I think this is a wrong decision. I think you're making a bad move. I think you're risking everything for no reward. I wouldn't do this. I don't know what you're thinking. And it took me back where I'm like, oh my God. Even though you'll have 30 people telling you, yes, go, 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 you'll have one or two saying, no, it's a bad idea. It's just human nature, I feel like, to err on the side of negativity where you're like, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am wrong. And have you ever had this experience? I know all of us have. And I feel like if maybe we learn to keep our mouths closed and not everything has to be up for public opinion, how much more successful, happier, and stable our lives would be. This comes along not only with, making physical changes, financial changes, relationship changes. Every time we voice out something that is going on in our lives to people, they're going to take that as you're inviting them in and they're going to give your opinion. And unfortunately, like I said, people are not always going to be, on your team. Even though they might, love you or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to see what you see, or they're going to believe that you have the ethic to go ahead and follow through with it. You know, there's a lot of people who will start saying, you know, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't do that. For example, when I started to push forward in social media, I was working, I had some friends that I had friends for a very, very long time. I had, you know, was friendly with them. They were in my home. They met my kids. I mean, we went through a lot of big life changes together, and we were all stuck at the same job, at the same career, and we were all miserable, but I knew I wanted out. Okay, I knew I wanted out, but I didn't know how to get out. And I knew I was going to jump off the hamster wheel. So what did I do? I put my head down. I never spoke about, you know, my channel to anybody. I would just put my head down. I would grind out these videos, still working full time, you know, taking care of my kids. And eventually, after a few years, I was able to go ahead and make this a full-time job for myself. Do you know, when I decided to leave that job, people had group text messages making fun of me, laughing at me. I can't believe oh, a Target, let's go to a Target haul, guy. Like, they were just, I had seen the messages, I heard about it, and I was just like, damn, like, all these years later, here I am, growing, exceeding, excelling, and they're still where we were 7, 8 years ago. They're still miserable, they're still unhappy, they're still angry at themselves and at the world, and being the ultimate bully in the workforce. And I completely removed myself from that. And at the end, like, yes, you had a good 5 seconds of chuckling on me, but in the end, I'm winning. Not saying that I'm wishing anything bad on them, but when I seen those messages and I seen how hurtful, and that somebody I trusted, that I considered a friend, to say something horrible about me, I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have ever said anything. And then I was like, man, maybe they're right. Maybe I do look absolutely ridiculous. And I started to doubt myself. And luckily I have my husband, who's like, no, ignore that, move on. It's time to keep going. You know, and this also comes with relationships. You know, everybody, oh, you need to leave him, or you should date him, or you should stay alone, or you know, you need to focus on this, or the more you run your mouth and the more open you are about all of your personal experiences, your personal habits, your personal journeys, and you say these things to people, you're inviting them into your business. So you might get mad that they're telling you exactly what you don't want to hear, but the fact remains is you're allowing it because you opened up that door for their input. Okay, so I'm very, very choosy on who I am telling what I am going to do, because I don't like people in my business, because I don't want somebody to critique the hard work I've done. You know, there's a lot of things that I do that I'm very proud of. You know, I don't like people critiquing my parenting. You know, could I be a better parent? Absolutely. But I'm a good mom, and I don't like for people to say, oh, well, you know, your daughter, this is always a thing I get to. I'll have people who be like, well, why doesn't your daughter have a job? My oldest daughter is 17. Why does your daughter have a job? Well, my daughter is a A+ student, and she is in a lot of scholastic activities, and they take up she's not home until 7 o'clock at night. She has a I think it's like a 4.3 or something average. She's like the top 7 performers out of the school, aside from her class. And she's focusing on this. This is something, you know, that she can use to possibly get scholarships to go off to college. And I prefer her to focus on school right now in these clubs and get, you know, really well, you know, academics, get that set up, as opposed to working at like a Chick-fil-A. Not saying there's anything wrong for Chick-fil-A. She's going to get a job when she's a senior, but I don't have to discuss these things with people. You know, and I tell them it's basically none of your business, you know, and I don't have to tell you anything. I have a plan for me and my kid. Don't worry about it. If you're not financing me, feeding me, or, you know, anything else that begins with an F for me, it's none of your business. And I think if we were to take that, you know, and it's not that everybody's going to be against you. It's not like I'm telling you not to tell your mom what's going on in your life. But the thing is if you feel that your mom is one of the negative people who are giving you bad advice, stop telling her stuff. Give her a very blanket response, you know. And the same thing goes with telling people, Monday, you're going to start working out. On Monday, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start counting my calories. I'm going to start doing this. And here comes Monday, and you have a picture of yourself at like Burger King laying on the couch. You didn't come through. So it's like the boy who cried wolf. The more you keep saying that you're going to do something and you don't follow through with it, the less people are going to believe in you. And then after it happens so many times, you're going to start having hurt feelings because you're going to be like, well, nobody believes me. No one thinks I can do it. Everybody doubts me. It's because you've played this song before. So you're right. We're waiting for you. We want to see you succeed, but you keep saying you're going to do something and you don't do it. So I feel like just to avoid that chaos is to keep your mouth closed. You know, someone had said something, and they had said this quote to me quite a few times with dealing with a lot of stuff that's been going on here lately, is the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. And I was like, yes, absolutely. The people who aren't doing anything have the most to say. So if they're going to sit there and they're going to critique you, and they see you grinding, they see you at the gym, they see you saving all this money, they see you improving your house, they see you improving your relationship, having a happy, healthy, stable relationship, seeing your kids thriving, and then they're going to be like, well, you know, there's always going to be that negative Nancy or petty Patty, but it is what it is. The fact is you're not, they could have their moment, they can have their face, they can have their little one comments, but they're not going to be in the mix of your daily life, giving you bad advice, leading you in the wrong direction, or swaying you from doing something that could be so amazing. You know, imagine if I would have listened to these friends that I had and didn't continue on with this platform. I would have been stuck in this awful career, being miserable. I probably honestly would have left it a long time ago and gone to work like for Costco or something, to be honest. But I wouldn't have created this community that, even though for some people it may not be anything, but for me this is huge. This is something that nobody in my family still to this day can understand, but they just know that I'm doing okay. You know, and I did this. I built this with my own two hands, with my blood, sweat, and tears. I built this. Again, it may not be a lot to somebody, and everybody says social media is, you know, you shouldn't put your money in on social media, which you're right. I mean, the internet can go out tomorrow. We all know, but let's be real. Social media, influencing, this is the thing of the future. People are paying influencers now for commercials as opposed to running them on TV, because how many people generally watch everyday TV? No, people are on their devices. They're on Peacock, they're on Hulu, they're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok. These are the things that people are watching, and the influencers are the ones who are running that. So, I mean, as you know, traditional as, you know, things seem, and how understanding that this whole social media world could be, it is unfortunately the wave of the future. We're not going to go back to who we were 20 years ago, and it's not going to be the same from where it is now in 20 years. It's going to keep evolving, and it's going to keep getting bigger. The main thing that I want you guys to take out of this video, and it's not to be a mean girl, it's not to be rude and ugly to other people, and it's not to look for assistance or someone to confide in, because we all need people. But what I'm telling you is not everybody's cheering you on. Unfortunately, even if they're in your circle, even if they're in your family, even if you consider them friends, some people cannot see past their own problems, their own negativity, their own lives, their own BS, to see what remarkable things that you are doing, you know. And some people may think that because you are excelling, because you are doing everything you said you were going to do, because you are dedicated, because you are waking up, you are putting in the hours, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the work, the results are coming, the money is being made, the weight is falling off, the muscles are being built, you know, the marriage is excelling, you know, you're happy, you're healthy, your kids are thriving, and from the outside it looks picturesque, but no one sees that you are putting in the work. Everybody thinks that when somebody has everything looking good, is they're just, you know, phony, or they got their head up their butt or whatever. That's not the case. The case is it's work, and it's dedication, and it's love, and it's compassion, and it's partnership, and it's teamwork. And it's not always, you know, sunshine and rainbows, but the fact is we get up every day and we don't quit. And a lot of people don't want to put in that work anymore. That work ethic, the work ethic that we were raised with, that our parents have, that our grandparents have, unfortunately is being lost in a culture, in a society in which everything is just, we want what we want it now, and if we don't have it, it's not fair, and we're going to be mean and criticize and be super critical and spiteful and hateful and just be a negative, ugly person. And because everybody thinks that they have their right to voice their opinion, that's what they're gonna say. Oh, your butt is so big, it's fake. Oh my God, you're so muscular. I liked you better when you were chunkier. Or oh my God, that's your house. Oh, it looks better before. I just don't like that style. It's not my style. I don't like it. Oh my, you know, it's just, there's always going to be something. Oh, that's your new boyfriend. Oh, he's nice. The other one was cuter. You know, like that's what you're going to see, and it's going to hurt your feelings. Zipper it up. You know, and I'm not saying you don't have to, you know, brag and be happy, but be careful on who you share your confetti with, because they'll turn your confetti to rocks and start throwing them at you real quick. You deserve to be happy and celebrate your accomplishments, your good news, and your achievements. But beware that not everybody is going to be joining the celebration. And unfortunately, I just don't want that to ruin the work and to maybe make you change your mind on continuing forward in any journey that you're on. You're absolutely worth it. And with hopes with this series is to identify those people. Identify those people. And I know it's completely not realistic to say that like you're going to weed out these negative people in your life. You're going to weed out the toxic family members, the toxic friends, the toxic relatives, and you're going to completely just write them off. In a perfect world, absolutely. But for most people, that's just unrealistic. It's just not going to happen. So what do? We learn to identify them. We learn to limit our exposure, and we learn to remember that not every action deserves a reaction, and not every comment deserves a response. Okay, but also don't ever let anybody make you a doormat. You know, it's one thing to, there's a proper way to respond and to nip it in the bud and say, hey, I'm not the one, that's enough. I didn't ask for your opinion, but thank you anyways. And just, you don't have to get loud, you don't have to get crazy, you don't have to make us skeptical of yourself. But if you tell them, hey, look, I'm not the one, you know, most people, I'm not saying that it won't escalate, and if it starts to escalate, then you remove yourself from the situation, you know, and this goes hands in hand with keeping your mouth shut. Not everybody is going to be happy for you. And if you say, for example, you have a really good idea, okay, say that, you know what, I came up with this idea to go ahead and start my own Etsy shop, and I'm going to start making backpacks or something like that, okay? And people are like, oh my God, that's a stupid idea. Why would you do that? No one's going to spend that much when they can go to Walmart and just get this stuff. And why would you do? Everybody has an Etsy shop. Everybody has a Cricut. Oh God, you're not going to make any money. Absolutely ridiculous. But then you turn around and they're either buying this very same thing that you said you were going to make from somebody else's Etsy shop, or here they are at Michael's buying a Cricut to make the very same thing that you said you were going to make, and they just swiped your idea. Or they just talked you out of it, and then you see somebody else that you know doing the same thing that you said you were going to do, and they're super successful. So not everybody has to be in on your ideas, your secrets. Get it started, get it in movement, get it going, and then once you see it's working out, then start talking about it. But if you have an idea brewing, do not share that with anybody except for, you know, maybe your significant other or something like that, people that you generally can trust, because people are real quick to cut you. And I know that seems really negative, but it's reality. And that is just the way it is. And here we're all about thriving and succeeding and protecting our inner peace. And that is one way to lose all of those things, is people just being scandalous. So I would love to hear your ideas on maybe how ways to handle these, maybe some instances on where you should maybe keep your voice, you know, keep it down, don't say anything, just to see, or maybe things that happened to you that when you decided to keep your mouth closed or didn't decide to keep your mouth closed, what happened? Because I feel like this happens a lot, especially on social media. I see people, oh, coming in March, I'm going to be back in school. And it's like, they don't go back to school. And then it's like June and they don't go back to school. So it's just, you know, I get that people are excited, but when they keep saying the same thing and not coming through, people just think that they're sitting on a throne of BS, you know, and no one's going to believe you. So keep your mouth closed, put in the work, follow through. And if you decide, maybe you decided, hey, I'm going to go back to school, and you don't do it, then no one else would know other than you. You don't have to explain to anybody why you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You just didn't do it. It's nobody else's business. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just what my thought was. I've been seeing this a lot lately, and I was like, dang, I really want to talk about this on social media, because I know, for example, I try to keep what I'm doing down to the bare minimum. You know, there's been a couple different ideas and things that I've done that I've talked about, and people snatch the idea before I can even make the video, or things that I tried to do and I mentioned doing them and somebody beat me to it, or I'll start something and somebody will come right in and follow up. And not saying that it's good or bad or whatever, but I'm just saying that it's happened. So I'm like, dang. Leo's like, you gotta shut your mouth. Why are you telling people your business? And I was like, you're right. I was like, damn, that was quick, you know? So it happens. I've done it to myself, and I literally have had my husband being like, you talk too much. And I was like, you're right. I sure do. Gotta learn to keep my trap shut. Even now with like my fitness journey, I have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm going to start talking about, but I'm getting it all hammered down. Exactly why you guys haven't been seeing a lot of like fitness related content right now, because I'm still getting everything straightened up, and this week is where everything is going to start rolling out. We're going to start seeing more eating, more fitness, just more vlogs. I'm going to start doing a ton of day in the life videos, a lot more Feminal Society. I want to get into some cosmetic procedures and stuff like that. I get a lot of questions and a lot of accusations about work I've had done. The next video is going to be all about that. I'm going to come clean. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the procedures I've had done, and I'm going to actually take you along with me to get some done so you can see what I get done. I don't care. I don't hide nothing. So, all right, I'm going to roll out of here. Thank you guys. This is the Feminal Society. My name is Danielle, and I hope you guys stick around. The Feminal Society is made for you and for me to help us embrace that divine feminine energy, becoming the ultimate girl, that girl, and to just level up your life and to live at the highest value that you can, that you are worth, that you are. So hopefully you found some inspiration from this video. Make sure you give this a thumbs up, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, friends.